Number 5 with Valerie Harjo at Guardian Lending. Valerie, rates in 2024. Would love to know your thoughts on that. We've all seen the headlines. They're supposed to be coming down. Her various predictions on when that's going to happen. What can you tell us that you see for rates in 2024?
Well, I keep looking for that crystal ball, Lynda, when I'm out shopping, garage sales, and in 30 years, I just haven't found it. And there's lots of expert opinions, and I think I should just write a book. But in all seriousness, we're always so optimistic in our industry, and we certainly would love to see interest rates come down. I mean, right now, they have been dropping in this last week, and it feels like, manna from heaven coming down because we've been in a very long, protracted upward rate environment since literally June of 2022. So the idea that we are looking at taming inflation, that we might start to see a softening on interest rates is a real hope that we all really have. Now, the caveat is that we can't predict the future. And as we remember from March 2020, when rates were at that time expected to continue to rise for spring. It was another election year, and we all know what happened, and rates just plummeted to the lowest levels ever seen. So, none of us want a pandemic again, obviously, but what we would like to see is a level of more balance coming down to a place where it can become more affordable for our buyers. And if all things go in the direction that it seems to be right now, there is a prediction that the rates will come down. Now, rates have been in the 7s, close to 8 just a month ago. So what is that really going to look like? Are we going to get into the 3s and 4s? No, we're not. I can just about say that 1,000% unless we have some other catastrophic event, which we don't want. Can they get into the 5s? That would be lovely and wonderful. But the expectation is that hopefully they'll be in the 6s. I think that's the best we could maybe project right now based on what I'm reading. Fannie Mae predicted 6.9, which of course we're almost there. So I think the tools that we have right now that we've been chatting about, as far as looking at seller credits, doing buy downs, point buy downs, all of that is still going to be applicable into this next year. And I think the savvy borrower and buyer and the savvy realtor community can really, really work with that and make some transactions happen and continue to encourage our buyers to not wait for some magical interest rate that just may not yet be out there. There's really no way to completely predict. So my prediction is cautiously optimistic. Now, what we're going to have coming up in 2024, we have spring. We have a lot of buyers chomping, at the bit, at the gate, wanting to, start looking and buying. And I was just talking to a client. It's like that when they throw out all those puppies and they start running for the goal. I mean, that's what it feels like. All these people are going to start just coming out of the woodwork because they've been anxious to buy a home. So, that could also drive up interest rates if we start to see a lot of movement there. And we also have an election year, which can bring in some economic instability. So those are the things that are typically going to affect the bond market, and the bond market directly affects interest rates. So that's my prediction.
Okay.
Did I sound like a politician?
Well, you do, but in a good way. So,
good.
so when,
sentence.
Yeah. So when when the rates do go down, not only are buyers going to be competing with more buyers at that time, but then people will probably start to refinance as well. So there's going to be that leaning on it. Are more people refinancing? Would that stop the rates from going any further down, do you think?
Yeah. So if you think of a typical mortgage cycle of someone buying a house, I mean, the average home ownership has traditionally been somewhere between 2 and 3 years. Well, June 2024 will be 2 years since the interest rates started really going up. Those buyers might have traditionally been sellers in a normal market. They would have had the home for 2 years and maybe they're going to sell and move into a different property themselves. I think that because inventory is still going to be tight, those people are not going to become buyers, but they will take advantage of refinancing. So I think the fact that there's going to be a strong refinance market is going to continue to affect our inventory. So where in a traditional market, we would say, oh, 2 years have gone by, people are going to want to move or sell. And especially here on Kauai, where that's a challenge anyway, I think that's going to continue to keep our prices, less likely to come down because we'll still have a lot of people desiring to buy that house. And so we're not going to have an influx of a lot of other homes coming on the market in the spring over here, even though we're like 100% summer all the time. It's not going to impact us as much, but there will be a lot of refinancing happening. If rates do get back into that mid sixes, I think it's very likely we're going to see people tapping into their equity. Credit card usage has gone up in the last 2 years. And so a lot of people are going to want to look at doing consolidation refinances. Even if the rate isn't tremendously lower than what they were, they're just waiting for some. In fact, I just saw a headline today that already refinance volume is picking up because of this little drop we have in just 2 weeks. So that I think will continue to happen as well.
Well, good news. It is where things are changing for the better, and I can feel it with buyers. I mean, they're feeling a bit more optimistic. I mean, before it was like, when is this going to end with the rate increases? And they're all looking for, when is it going to stop? Maybe start coming down. So hopefully that's going to translate to better news for buyers in 2024. Let's hope so. Valerie, thank you so much. Your insight is just always so spot on and invaluable. Really appreciate you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.